Helping people better understand a story may be as simple as adjusting how you actually tell that story.
Amber Fox is with Red Door Pediatric Therapy. She joins us via Skype to explain the concept of social stories. Good morning, Amber.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Now, I know all of us have different learning styles. You know, it doesn't matter where you're at. You know, like some of us are audible learners, audio. We
Learn
learn
by
with
hearing.
our ears. Some of us,
Auditory.
some of us, read. Some of us, are visual learners. But this is a little bit different. Explain the concept for us.
Yeah, social stories, they're a therapeutic strategy that were developed by Carol Gray, who is an autism researcher, for individuals with autism to improve their understanding of difficult situations or difficult concepts. And what it does is it provides a narrative from the child's perspective to help them better understand what's going on and how they might be able to react a little bit more appropriately and to develop those social skills.
Okay. Social stories. What makes that different than other ways of teaching?
Well, what they do is they really are designed to provide a perspective from either first person, so using I or we, or third person, he or she, and it provides perspective from the child's vantage point. Even for older students, you could use a newspaper article that's written with a social lesson to help direct those. The important part of social stories is that they try and use positive language and not to bring attention to those challenging behaviors, but instead guides the child through what the appropriate response would be. So instead of saying, I will try not to run, we might say, I will try and walk. Or instead of helping a child working through frustration who may bite, you might teach them, well, this is what I do when I'm frustrated. I can use my coping tools versus using those other less attractive behaviors that aren't as socially appropriate.
Now, we do have a graphic here that kind of explains, it gives an example. This one has to do with school closures, perhaps explaining to your child why the school is closed, and hopefully we can put this on the screen while you're talking about it. But walk us through this if you could.
Yes, so this is a social story that was obtained from the Autism Society of Florida, and it's giving a child some basic information of what might be going on right now. And this story is entitled, My School is Closed, and it helps them walk through what's going on right now. So today is different because my school is closed, and it provides some simple pictures that go along with it. We are home to stay healthy. I will be okay. And so using those affirmations, I will be okay, are really important. And it also provides some context using, we're going to stay home to be healthy. And some of the other things that we might put in a social story is talking about why we're staying home and what exactly is going on. So it might continue the story explaining what coronavirus is, and that coronavirus is like a bad cold, and our world is trying to keep us safe from getting this cold. We need to wash our hands to stay healthy and safe.
Sure. Now, how important are the pictures with the words?
Well, we really like to have pictures that match the situation. Another example is if you're working on water safety with a child, having a picture that shows a child that is swimming safely with a lifeguard or a parent versus a child that's swimming by themselves provides that context and that information.
Okay, let's bring up the third and final graphic that we have. And as we're looking at that, the thing that, at least to my mind, comes to the forefront about this is accentuating the positive. Like you said, rather than don't run, we're going to say we're going to walk. So is that what makes these social stories effective?
Right, and so it's really having the majority of this story, setting the scene in the context, answering those WH questions. What's happening? Where does it occur? Who will help me? And then providing some information. I will try and wash my hands, or I will be okay, or we will be okay.
And that's a way of comforting too, right? I mean, once you understand the situation, it's really the unknown that's so scary. That's true of all of us, right? And so I would imagine it's the same here. Okay, so when you use this, is it just for kids who have autism?
No, social stories can be used with all children. What we like to do is just try and match the level of our story with what their language level is. If it's a child who's just learning language, then we would have more pictures and graphics. If it's an older student or child or patient that we're working with, we might use more guided lessons that are longer, more complex stories that might not necessarily have a lot of pictures along with it.
You know, Amber, in this time that Monica and I were talking at the top of the show, even for adults, this is such an uncertain time because of all the unknown. How are kids, and specifically kids with autism, how do you approach that? Because you as an instructor or we as parents probably don't even know what it is that we can expect.
Yeah, I think just being consistent with them and just providing them information that the grown-ups are working on that and we're going to be okay, and allowing them to have some control over it, saying, you know, we're washing our hands, we're being good citizens, we're doing the best that we can. There are some things that we try and do on our end.
Okay, now obviously your office is closed, but people can get in touch with you, right?
Yes, we still have staff on site that's answering the phone and can help direct you to anyone. If you have questions, we're located in Minot and Bismarck. You can reach us by calling 222-3175.
You know, I've always said this every time that we have you guys on for Kids Connection. Your website is loaded with good information, so check that out. If you have any further questions, to give you guys a call.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Easter, Amber.
All right, well, when we come back, we are going